Uh, Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors, professionals, officers, officials, listeners and learners. I welcome all respected professors and directors, honorable advocates, advertisers, administrative advisors. I welcome Honorable Minister General Reserves, the most honorable President Krishna Modi ji. It is really nice time, nice place that we are explaining, defining changes. What changes we see around us? We go through in the form of diversity. Change is the rule of nature. So, nationally, internationally, spiritually, economically, politically, socially, in the different fields, what changes we are feeling. Let's go through the news. As drawn strong battlefields, militaries seek cheaper defenses, the proliferation of unscrewed systems in the Ukraine-Russia war has highlighted the importance of ground defense capabilities. But the development militaries around the world but the dilemma militaries around the world is that the weapons tend to be far cheaper than the response to destroy them. Drone cost can range from just a few hundred to several $1,000, and their price tag is rapidly depreciating as innovation and mass production pick up. That's correction of the outlays for most air defense missiles. If you have the high-end command, price tags of tens of millions for a single shot. Efforts to solve that conundrum were on display this week at the BSPI Defense Expo in London, where the halls were packed with lasers, missiles, jammers, and even other drones designed to defeat small, unscrewed traps. What they all had in common was an attempt to bring down the cost per kill. Drones or unscrewed systems as the larger versions are often called have come to the forefront of warfare since the Russia's invasion of Ukraine in early 2022 as the conflict used to more conventional battlefield tools like artillery. Both sides of the conflict have leaned heavily on drones for surveillance, defense, and attack missions. In Ukraine, it's really scaled drone-on-drone warfare, said Jan Hardik Holyland, CEO of anti-drone company Air Alpine Eagle GmbH. And our interceptor is essentially a small drone, so it has the price tag of a small drone. Electronic warfare, including jamming and spoofing that confuse drones, controlled systems, is another defensive item. Dozens of companies at BSEI promoted such technology, which has the benefit that it can potentially intercept multiple drones at once. It would then essentially wipe out the electronics in the entire swarm and they fall to the ground. Bypass Sivat, the chief technology advisor for Thames, SA UK, subsidiary rather than a point and shoot model where you are literally targeting those drones one by one. Others like US-based drone Shield and Drone Shield and D-Drone showed off portable systems that can be aimed like rifles, lasers which burn drones out of the sky, were on display and masses at the fair on multiple versions of the well-known Iron Beam from Israel's Rafael to offering from smaller competitors such as electro-optic systems and IPC, phonetics, and while both lasers and electronic warfare systems are initially expensive and complex to build, they are cheap to operate. March from the UK has developed ground-launched interceptors designed to keep costs down and reduce the risk of accidental damage by simply flying to enemy targets. These small X-shaped missiles use battery-powered propellers to hit speeds of more than 320 km an hour, then crash through targets protected by a titanium nose cone. The interceptors were developed for use around oil fields, which would be more sensitive to explosives. 9 times out of 10, it's about then or up or cost per kill, said Rabi Rapper. The company's operation chief, the surge in demand for anti-drone equipment has attracted investment. Titan Technologies, a Munich-based startup building drones that intercept UAVs, recently raised $19 million from European investors, and the Ukraine and German armed forces have tested its interceptors. The growing number of drone fleets means the variety of defensive systems must expand faster, said Fabian Hinge, an analyst at the International Institute of Strategic Studies. There is a lot of focus on affordability of counter UAV solutions, but a more important metric might be availability and scalability of production. Hinch said. In other words, even if the money was available, we would not be able to acquire enough. Over 100 Protestants waved Union Jack and St. George's, England.